Hi, this is Zach here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 26th of August. Starting off with the S&P as usual, and here we're still within that rising trend channel from back in April, the channel around 63.80. Above that, we're looking for as high as 6600 plus by the end of next month. And that's set on the basis that support since the beginning of May has come in at or above the 50-day moving average, currently 62.77, and almost entirely support has come in with the RSI at or above the neutral 50 level, just one dip at the beginning of the month. If you're looking for a trigger towards the upside, obviously recent resistance towards 64.80 would be the ideal thing, but really it's a case of buying dips towards the floor of that channel and that late April uptrend line 63.80. Moving on to the situation at the Nasdaq, and here I suppose it's somewhat influenced by the imminent update from Nvidia, which we'll be looking at soon. But in the meantime, we've had the bearish divergence leading to a minor breakdown for this market. But what was interesting is that we managed to find support above the 50-day line and above the initial August support there, 22,500. Above that combo, we're looking for 24,400 by the end of next month. Best case scenario target would be up to the late January resistance line projection at 25,700. On the downside, hopefully if there is any pullback, it would be limited to the mid 22,000 area. Moving on to the stocks, and here we see that we're starting off with Aehr Test Systems, and here the stock gapping up again for the second time in 2 months. Here you can see the top of the channel there, heading for decent upside towards $35, and we're looking for that by the end of next month, especially while we remain on the right side of recent broken resistance at $21. Interesting chart coming up next in the form of Darkins, and here you can see that the Darkiris rather. Here you can see that we've got a rising trend channel. It's been in place since the beginning of the month. Top of the channel looks to be towards the $10 level, and we're looking for that hopefully by the end of next month, especially while we remain above recent broken resistance. $5.30. Ideally, we'd stay up on the right side of $6.50, which is basically the mid-range of yesterday's price action. Fathom is next, and here we have our rising trend channel base actually delivered by the stock itself. That was the intraday resistance from yesterday, at $3.08, and we're looking for that by the end of next month while we remain above recent broken resistance around the $1.75 area. So hopefully a bit of traction still to come there. The other point to note is that we've got or have had an uptrend line in the RSI window multi-tested, so that does give a stronger backbone to what we're seeing there. GoPro, one of the more famous companies around, is breaking out of recent resistance through the $1.50 level. We're looking for a retest of last month's resistance through $2.20 at the top of that channel there from July last year by the end of next month. I think we covered this next stock couple of times before, and if I can type it out correctly, you'll see what it is. It is HeartCore. The rising trend channel base there has its top towards $2. We're looking for that, especially while we can remain above recent broken resistance from March, around the $1.10 level on an end-of-day close basis. The current situation at HCW is looking interesting in the sense that we've got a broadening triangle base. We've gapped up through a now rising 50-day moving average and above recent resistance around the $4.90 level, looking for up to $10 by the end of next month. Obviously, we need to see the shares consolidate above the 50-day line, currently at $4.35. Inno Holdings is next, and not much to see in terms of the price action, I suppose, of late, given that we've just had a vertical move to the upside through the 200-day moving average at $3.77. Above that, looking for old resistance from back in May, as high as $7.30, perhaps by the end of next month. But the key here is staying above that 200-day line. Otherwise, we don't really have a support point to hang a hat on. Next is Lexaria Bioscience, and here it's a broadening triangle base. Top of the triangle there looks to be around the $1.27 level, and we're looking for that while we hold above the initial August resistance around the 92 cents or 93 cents mark, to be more precise. Stock of the moment, or one that could be the stock of the moment, will continue to be the stock of the moment, is Nvidia. And here we have a interesting situation. I suppose normally updates from companies, you get a sort of binary situation going on, but we actually have one or two things to hang our hat on. One is that the recent support on the dip has been well above the 50-day line at $167. Second is that we've got a resistance line there from the end of July through $182. That needs to be broken on an end-of-day close basis. That may be the easiest thing to look for, in the sense that above that we're looking for as high as 205 by the end of next month, if we get an end-of-day close through 182. On the downside, any dips either to the floor of the channel there around 173 or the 50-day line at 167 are the levels to look at. Final sizzle here, though, is the way that we've had an RSI 50 rebound, and that tends to be something you only see an extended bull run, which is something we've had for this market since the end of April, and the rally started, in fact, with an RSI 50 rebound at the end of April. One of the best stocks around at the moment is SuperX AI, and it rather flies in the face of the study by MIT that 95% of generative AI companies tend to bite the dust. Obviously, this perhaps is not one of them. Here we are on our first, second, third, fourth, and maybe possibly fifth target, up to $70. We're looking for that while we're above recent resistance at $50. So maybe any dips towards the $50 zone, currently regarded as buying the dip opportunities. Would be amazing if we hit the fifth target there, because it's normally the third or fourth, after which a stock gets rather tired out. The next situation is Tharimmune, and here we're on, we've beaten our second target there, around $7. Above that, looking to see what the next level up would be. And given the way that the price action has gone over the recent past, it's a rather difficult one to work out. You can see that on the left-hand side of the chart, there was a massive unfilled gap to the downside. The floor of the gap there around $17, and I suppose that would be the best case scenario target for Tharissa while it's above the $7 level on an end-of-day close basis. Obviously, looking for that perhaps by the end of next month or even later than that, given how far away that is. Another favorite in the recent past has been Wellgistics, and here you can see that we're fast approaching the top of that broadening triangle at $210. Looking for that by the end of next month while we're above recent broken resistance at $1.30 on an end-of-day close basis. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.